So this one's written and directed by David Greenwalt. So Whedon took the Buffy finale, Greenwalt took the Angel finale.
All right,
Yeah.
love it.
So written and directed, Logan. No wonder you like this. His previous writing and directing experience include "Hey, you reptile boy."
Yeah, well, that's genius writing right
Yeah.
there. That is really good. All right, so we're getting right into it.
Yeah.
All right, so Wesley doing some research on the word Shanshu, trying to figure out what that means from the prophecies of aversion.
Very good. It's the only thing I wrote down because I thought you might miss it.
Nope, I remembered. And
Sanshu?
No, aversion.
that's the scroll that he took that Angel stole last
Yeah,
week.
I
no.
knew I'd remember Shanshu because it's in the title.
No, but Cordelius is Sanshu.
Oh,
Oh,
does
does
she?
she?
Yeah,
Sanshu.
and Wesley goes Shan or now I'm not gonna be able to say it.
Oh well, I like when Wesley goes. Maybe it's Shushan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good. Because he can't really find anything about it.
Yeah.
And they learn in the paper the thing about Lindsay, that Lindsay got a big promotion at Wolfram and Hart. They didn't really
Yeah.
know about that yet, but they
I
find out.
love when characters learn information in the newspaper.
Yeah, that's funny. David Nabbit shows up. We haven't seen him in a couple
Yeah,
episodes,
hey.
but he's back, and he just wants to hang out with everybody.
He has serves no purpose to the entire episode. He's
He
just
just
sort of there for
What
the scene.
is Dan, I have a question.
Yeah.
Were they intending on making him a regular?
Never a regular, but a more frequent recurring character than he turned out to be.
And they're
Yeah.
clearly setting up plot things because he's like, I made $1 million today. Don't know what to do with it. And they're like, wow, that's crazy. So they're clearly setting up like he's just gonna be their money.
I didn't even feel like that was setting anything up.
Yeah.
I don't understand the purpose of this scene.
Well, that's all I know about this character is that you said he was like their cash cow. So
Yeah, I think that was the intention, but like we only realistically see him like maybe twice more after this.
oh
So
wow, that's
yeah,
crazy. But Tim, you relate to him probably. He was a dungeon master, right?
he's wearing a purple cape. Do you wear a purple cape
You know,
in
you know,
public, Tim?
you don't have to wear a cape to be a dungeon master.
No,
Let me
you
just
just want
say,
to.
yeah. I mean, yeah. When it's stylish, it was pretty cool. I admired it, and yeah, you guys are haters, but
I'm not hating at all.
I
being a
am.
dungeon master nowadays isn't as nerdy, but whatever.
It will always be. I will never accept that.
I've never played it either.
Nerd
I
on
would
nerd
though.
crime here.
I believe
Guy
in
who-
nerd on nerd crime. There are levels to this shit, and I am not on that level.
That's fair.
Dungeons and Dragons is probably the best game ever invented.
Oh
So
my god.
Whoa.
it truly is.
The
It's
best
it
game
really
ever
is.
invented is Grand Theft Auto 5.
No,
Okay.
I disagree.
We should
No,
do Twitch streaming of Grand Theft Auto 6, by the way, when that comes out.
dude,
There should be really
This
big
guy
GTA
loves
6
I
pre-orders.
I'm happy to do that.
That'd be so fun. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for GTA 6.
Me too.
So we see Voka meet Voka.
Yep, it's Havoc with the letters screwed up.
Oh wow,
It's
that's
an
cool.
anagram. Yeah.
It's like I am Lord Voldemort, like
Yeah.
that thing.
This guy,
Uh,
by the way, the actor who plays Voka, his name is Todd Stashwick. Okay, if you look up this guy, you'll have seen him in a lot of stuff. He's a constantly on television. I can't even tell you anything he's been in though, because he's just one of those guys that like pops up and stuff. But weirdly, he's been on this episode of Angel, and later he's on an episode of Buffy, and he's completely unrecognizable in both of them.
he's gonna show up on Buffy later, you said?
Yeah, as a demon
Oh wow, okay.
in
His-
season
his-
6.
His mask totally reminded me of Sting's face paint.
Oh.
Surfer Sting.
Service thing, sure.
I liked his whole get up. I liked it. Looked cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And he's like friends with Wolfram and Hart, or he like goes to them for
He's
help.
friends with them.
I don't know what happened.
Well, I think they're hiring him.
Oh, they hired him.
to do the ritual to raise whatever is gonna be in that box.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we get the credits, and then Wesley, he says Shanshu means death, so Angel's gonna die. Oh my god.
And Angel's like, cool, sounds great.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. That's
Yeah.
the big thing.
He's pretty whatever about it.
Yeah, he's just reading a book or whatever. I like the part where Cordelia makes a joke, and he's like, That was funny.
No, no one laughs at it, and then she's like, "Well, hey, no one thinks I'm funny," and he just goes, "I liked it."
He's the best.
Oh, I love what a big angel guy you've become.
Oh no, and after this episode, I feel like locked it in even more. I love Angel.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Cordelia has a vision of a homeless woman getting attacked
Yeah,
by a slime demon. So we got to
correct.
She
deal
could
with that.
smell it too.
Oh yeah, that's scratch and sniff visions, she says.
Hmm.
And Voka, Wolfram and Hart tells him to go deal with the powers that be because they know all about Angel. Something
That's
like that.
right.
So he goes there and he just kills him. Pulls out a weapon,
Yeah,
kills
it's
him.
those oracles. Now I like this. It like the powers that be for me works better as just a concept. You don't need them represented by character. Like for me, like it could just be the visions. That's their connection to the powers that be. It doesn't need to be anything else. The idea that they have this option anytime they want, that they could just like go get advice from these oracles. I always felt like that was a little much. And so to see them slaughtered so violently in this episode was very appealing to me.
And not to mention the oracles look dumb as hell. Like their
Agreed.
outfits are really horrible.
Oh really? I thought they actually got a lot better from the first time we saw them.
They look like they should like stand. Oh, this is related to Dan. They look like they should work at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas.
Wow.
You mean like Joey Tribbiani did that time?
Yeah, like he did that one time.
Yeah.
He had a job at Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, for a little bit.
He was like Xander. He had like different odd jobs
Well,
when he wasn't acting.
there's an episode of Friends where they all go like they have to rescue him from Las Vegas.
And he was working there?
Joey got a movie in
Yeah,
LA, so he
went
went
to
out to
shoot in
LA,
right.
but
Go ahead.
he drove across the country, and by the time he got there, the movie was canceled because of bad funding. So then he was embarrassed. So he told everyone he was still doing the movie, but then he went to
Yeah,
Las Vegas
he had
and worked
gotten
there.
into a fight
Damn.
with Chandler because he insisted this was going to be his big break, and Chandler he thought that Chandler wasn't believing in him.
Yeah.
And then when the movie was shut down, he was like too embarrassed to admit that Chandler was right about this movie.
That's sad. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so so we get
And then
Kate.
Ross and Rachel get drunk and marry each other. It's a good cliffhanger.
He says,
Oh, she's got
Yeah.
the cat stuff on her face.
Hello, Mrs. Ross.
Friends is good. You guys should cover Friends. Screw
Friends is a
Buffy.
great
Let's
show.
What? No. Kate in this episode. She
Oh
shows
yeah.
up, and
Good
these
to
two
see
bros are
Kate.
like, Kate's a weirdo, always showing up at the weird places. What a weirdo. I don't know. Do you like Kate less? I noticed she has on a cross necklace. She seems religious. Do you like her less?
No, she
Well, I think
doesn't.
she's wearing the cross as because she hates vampires so much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering if that was that or not. But
And I like how she's like, oh, it's real rich coming from you, a non-person angel. That's gonna be her thing. Is like, I
Yeah.
hate you because you're bad.
yeah, yeah, and that's what happens. She runs into him. He killed a slime demon, and she's
Yeah.
like, "You, my
Pretty
dad is dead."
pretty much the last we see of her this season, she's like vowing to end him. And
Mhm.
and he just responds by going like, "Listen, I'm sick of your shit. God damn you."
Yeah, he
It's
doesn't
like
care.
I didn't kill your dad. Get off of me. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Get over it, you dumb white lady.
Yeah, you dumb bitch.
I guess that'd be a complaint I have about this is where we ended up with Kate. I feel like we didn't do all that much with. Could have done a
That's
little
fair,
more.
but she'll keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Wesley, he's like, remember when we told Angel that he was gonna die and he had no reaction? That's not good. Maybe we should have a little discussion about that and find out what the root of that problem is. And so he and Cordelia talk about it, and they're like, he's not really he's not growing, he's not living life, he's not really connected to anybody that's living. So maybe get him a puppy, Cordelia suggests. That was good.
Yeah.
But no, they don't really do that. Um, so they tell him to go see the oracles. So he goes, but they're all dead. They all got killed.
Yep. Yep.
R.I.P. Do you have a favorite one?
I like the little gay
The
guy.
girl probably. Oh,
How do you know he was gay?
He just seems it.
he was all glittery.
uh Cordelia goes to like one of those like it's like a hobby fair, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I think you nailed it.
That's weird. But there's like, hey, try art. Try
Oh,
making
yeah.
t-shirts.
Is this where we meet my LVP of the episode?
That woman? You hate her?
Yeah, I hate
no,
her.
100%.
She has a weird face and a weird voice. I don't
I
like
thought she
anything
was
she
gonna be a
does.
vampire.
I 100%. I'm like, is this a contest winner? This is not
Oh
an
my
actor.
God, you're right.
This is
I
this
thought
is a
so
real
too.
person.
I
Yeah,
looked
this
her
is
up on IMDb, and she has other, like, not many because she's bad, but she has other parts where she's acted. She comes up, she makes the weirdest face you've ever seen. Like a person has never made this face in real life, and then she's like, "So, are you interested in art?" I'm like, "What?
It looked like she had
What is
fake
this
teeth
speech
in, I thought.
impediment?"
I thought she was
I
had
thought I thought
fangs.
so too. I thought she had like fucking, like, maybe still like the rubber bands from having braces, but not the braces anymore.
Yeah, I fully thought she was gonna be a vampire.
Who
yo.
the fuck was this lady?
Was she fucking David Greenwald? Is this why she's in this
I
episode?
The
don't
thing is,
know.
the only explanation for her being in this is if she was fucking somebody, but I can't imagine anyone fucking her.
Oh
Oh,
my
this is
god.
Joss's side piece. This is the
I
side
mean,
piece for the
it's
side piece.
side piece. So he had Olivia and Harmony this week. Like, he needs another one.
Yeah,
Great
this
point.
guy. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm glad you guys noticed that too, though. That's so funny.
Oh, it was insane.
LVP probably
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yes,
This is the LVP of the season.
I agree. This is the LVP of television.
Oh my god. I want to bring up there's a shirt at the hobby fair and
Uh-oh.
it says mayhem on it. So I want to bring that up because it's a funny word that Daniel says wrong.
Oh, shut
Uh,
up.
And
Oh yeah.
so Cordelia gets art supplies for Angel, but then Voca like steals it.
Well,
And,
we do know that Angel is an amazing sketch artist, so it's
Right.
probably a good gift.
yeah, that's actually a good point. Does she know that? Does she know that he's a good?
Yeah. She's seen him do that.
Yeah, he did like the police sketches for The Office.
Yeah.
For them to.
And he did caricatures at her party at her house in that one episode, if you remember.
I don't remember that. Is that a joke?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yes.
No. Is this where Voca gives her like that little mark on her hand? When he
Yes.
touches her.
He
And
just
Yes.
touches her with his pinky. He's just like, ooh.
I thought he
But
stole
his
a bag.
punky
off
has
of her.
tattoo powers.
Didn't he steal a bag from her?
No.
Yeah,
really?
he took the art supplies.
I swear to God.
He mugged her.
I thought she had two bags, and he stole one of the bags from her. I swear to God, I thought that happened. But anyway,
Well, I'm
so
here. I should take these pencils.
oh, colored pencils. But so Cordelia starts having a bunch of visions, and she falls down, and it's like really taking a toll on her.
I think Charisma Carpenter is really good in this episode. Like, I
I
think
agree.
the visions seem really painful.
I agree. Yeah, I buy it. Gave me a headache
Yeah.
watching it. And so Voca, cool moment where Angel is like putting the scroll away, and Voca's right behind him, spying on him in his apartment. And
Yeah.
I
By the
kinda-
way, there's a shot when they're doing the overhead shot of like her screaming on the ground. You see Voca walk by her.
oh wow.
Like, again, like he just crosses over again. It reminded me of the shot in Scream 2 when she's running away from the killer on the stage, and then you see like a shot just of his feet running away.
Yeah, I feel like you mentioned that one time, and I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that though. That's really cool.
Anyway, keep going.
That's neat. But I want to bring up one part. Angel puts the scroll away in like this cabinet that he has, and when he puts it away, there are 3 daggers on the door. And then when Voca opens it, there are 2 daggers on the door. And it's
David
just
Green
fully a
wants-
continuity thing. Like Angel
Yeah.
didn't take it off the door or anything. It's just a
No,
continuity error.
I'm sorry, David Greenwald's a fucking moron.
Yeah,
What
horrible
a hack.
director.
1-star episode.
Yeah, seriously. And so Angel gets a call. It's the hospital. They're like, "Hey, Cordelia's here. You got to come help her." And he's like, "All right,
Right.
I'm on the way."
He said, I like them. He says, like, I'm her employer. She doesn't have any family here. And he runs up. I like that.
Yeah.
He really cares about Cordelia.
They're just like justifying like why they're calling him because he
Exactly,
feels bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the whole reason for that line, but I still like it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fine. I didn't like it one way or the other. I kind of felt like I didn't like it in the moment because I wanted him to, but then they immediately rectify it because the whole point of the episode is like he has no reason for living, but then he talks to Cordelia. He's like, "I need you alive. You're my reason." A little bit,
Yeah,
you know.
there's even that very sweet scene with Gunn later on where he says to him like, "I really care about these people," and he's like, "I'm getting that."
I
Yeah,
feel
they
like we
even
didn't
get
need
that.
Gunn. We didn't need Gunn
No,
this.
we didn't need Gunn in this episode, but he's going to be a regular next season, so they wanted him in the finale.
Like his part of the plan doesn't even get enacted, does it? It's just like so for
No,
that one line so that he can
no, no.
show how much he cares for Cordelia.
Logan, you're right. He's incredibly unnecessary for this episode.
I understand
It's
why he's here though.
yeah. It's just for the future.
Yeah, it'd kind of be
Gunn,
weird to not put him here.
Yeah.
yeah, Gunn is just hanging out with the the rich guy. That's what was the point. Is two pointless plot threads here.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you would call. He's hanging outside Milano's Italian restaurant. I wrote down. There we go. So Wes, he realizes that the scroll got taken. He opens the thing and sees that it's gone or whatever. And Angel, there's like a big explosion. We lose the apartment building this episode, basically.
This is it. This is it.
It's done.
We have it's a whole new set going forward.
Yeah, at the end we're like at a new place. I don't know where, but
No, we're just hanging out in Cordelia's apartment at the end.
really?
We don't really see the permanent new residences of Angel Investigations until episode. I don't want to say which episode, but early season 2.
There should have been a Phantom Dennis moment. I fully had no idea where we were in that scene.
Okay.
They should. I mean, I probably.
I recognized it from the establishing shot they always use of Cordelia's apartment.
Oh, really? It's like the shot of the Full House house.
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
I had no idea there was one of those.
Mm.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess they got a new place. All right. But anyway, so Angel, he runs in, he saves Wesley, right? And then Kate's outside.
Wesley should be dead, right?
No, of course not.
Wesley should have. I was like, Wesley should have like at the very least a giant scar across his face. Like, why? How did he survive
doesn't
this?
in the hospital?
That
He's not like
explosion
black
was
a little.
enormous.
Yeah, they're on the 5th level though. It didn't really impact him.
What are you talking? Didn't he? The impact would have been in that apartment because we see Voka in there.
Yeah, I had questions, but
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't gonna die because you've told me he's your favorite character. So I was like, well, obviously
sorry about
Wesley's
that.
living.
Yeah, he wouldn't be my favorite character based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I didn't think he was dying. I feel like we've said enough, and we have like threads hanging still for Wesley. He's not gonna die, but so Angel outside of is like or he runs into Kate and Kate's like mad at him like my dad's dead because of you. That's the last we see of Kate. Whatever. And so Angel goes to the hospital and he's doing that thing where he's walking from like Cordelia's bed to Wesley's bed, you know?
Yeah, it reminded me of the mayor in Graduation Day Part 2, where like Buffy and Faith are both like on the same floor of the hospital.
Yes, but this well, I guess the mayor does see Buffy, right? He tries to kill her there. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
This one reminded me though of like an episode of a sitcom where somebody has 2 dates that they're going back and forth between. Like he's like, gotta go visit Cordelia, gotta go visit Wesley, gotta go visit Cordelia. There's one of those in Ned's like, Declassified. I know.
There's an episode of Boy Meets World like that with guest starring the wrestler Vader.
Oh, really? As the dad?
Yeah.
Well, so that's good. What was up with the nurse that we focus on? Is this a Whedon or Greenwald victim? Who is this woman?
Oh, come on. This is just some random lady, isn't it?
I don't know. We kept focusing on her. I had questions.
Who
is she?
didn't. She's nobody.
Yeah.
She's in like 3 scenes. We like really like hone in on her, I thought.
Yeah, but we're just checking in on Cordelia. So
you need like, somebody who can give like, exposition at the hospital.
We tried to give her every drug in the hospital, and she still won't calm down.
But like Angel walks from like Cordelia's room to Wesley's room, and the camera like stops on her for a second. We like watch her at her desk, just like do her job. Like, who is this woman? I thought it was odd. You guys didn't care at all? Okay.
I don't know. Like it to me, the payoff was when the big explosion happens in the hospital bed at the end, and she's like, "What the fuck was that?" And she,
Yeah. But with all right, whatever. Yeah, fine. So Angel says, Cordelia, I'm gonna get you out of here. You're gonna live. Nothing's ever gonna be wrong with you. And he sees like that thing on her wrist, and he's like, oh no. I don't know.
right?
And now the oracles are ghosts. That woman's a ghost. What's going on?
I don't care for being dead. Leave me, go away, Oracles.
She's like moaning Myrtle or whatever. And Angel, he takes that weapon that Voka had earlier, right?
Yeah, it's a scythe. That's so
Yeah,
they
it's
can
one of
have a
those.
fun scythe battle later.
Awesome scythe battle. Angel
Yeah.
goes to Gunn, says, Gunn, I need your help. This is important to me. Gunn says, this seems important to you. And Angel says, yeah, I just said it that it was. And then he says, okay, I'll help. And then they do the big ritual thing. But Wolfram and Hart, they're like, we don't want to be early. We want to be casually late. That's
I
cool.
love Holland Manners is great in that moment. Like
Mhm.
you don't want to get there before all the chanting and blood rites are done. You'll be there forever. And then when he gets there, he like they do a callback. He turns to Lila and goes, "Oh, they haven't even gotten to the Latin."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was very
that's so
funny.
awesome. Yep.
I think that he looks like Bill Belichick a little bit.
I could see it. Yeah,
This guy,
not
similar
not as
haircut,
fat.
face. Oh,
I
yeah,
think he
that's
looks
fair.
Yeah, he's
I
not as
think he
fat
looks
and ugly and disgusting as Bill Belichick.
And
I think he
wealthy.
looks like the husband from the tail part of the plane from Lost.
He
Oh,
looks
good
he
call.
kind of looks exactly like that guy. Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
much like that guy. Um, I just wanted to jump in, pretend like I've
Yeah.
seen that.
He is that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Wesley he reads from the scroll. Oh. Sorry, I forgot a part. Big moment. Angel kills Voka. Lindsay jumps up, does the ritual.
Yeah.
Angel throws the thing at Lindsay, and he cuts his hand off.
Yes.
Crazy.
Seems like Lindsay needs Buffy there for a second, right?
Why
Why?
to fight Angel?
Cause, because Buffy's the hand.
Oh,
Oh,
mono.
yeah, I had that reaction earlier when you guys were talking about the hand. Oh, yeah, that's funny. And so Wesley, he realizes, oh no, I made a mistake. Remember earlier when I thought it meant die? It actually means alive. You're gonna turn into human. And I loved Angel's reaction here. I thought it was so sweet. He was
Yeah.
like he seemed excited a little bit, and he was like, "Well, it's not gonna happen for a long time, so who cares?" And like he seemed like, "Oh, like it's so far fetched." Like at that
Yeah.
point, but Cordelia's like, "No, there's like a serious endpoint to this, like that we haven't even thought about. This is huge news." Um, I loved
And
that. That was an awesome moment.
and then Angela goes like, "That is pretty big, I
The
guess."
little smile.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, so
Oh,
good. That's
doesn't he say, "Oh, that sounds nice" or something?
Yeah,
He
that
says,
sounds
"Yeah,
nice.
oh, that
Yeah.
sounds nice." Um,
Oh my God.
and not to spoil it, but he does go on to become a human and work at the FBI, where he
At the
solves
Jeffersonian?
cases at the Jeffersonian, where he solves murder cases that all involve bones.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
He does change his name,
To
all
Seeley,
right, to Sealy Booth.
and
Uh,
he wears a belt buckle and weird socks. That's
he
his.
sure does. He has a belt
That's funny.
buckle. He has a belt buckle that says cocky
Yep,
and very colorful socks.
and he hates clowns.
He does. He shoots one.
Wow.
And then has to go to therapy with Stephen Fry.
Root. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's pretty good stuff. But I loved it. That moment at the end of this episode was, I mean, we're gonna get to another moment that's gonna happen, but this is probably my favorite
I,
moment
w-
of Angel so
I
far.
I love it too. I just want to say, Tim, that was so much fun, and I only wish you could now make SEAL Team Agent Jason's Hayes jokes with me.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
I'm not as familiar with his Steel Team
yeah.
character, unfortunately.
Jason Hayes, another classic David Boreanaz
But
character.
He doesn't wear
but I
silly socks, I bet.
but I am
No, not on
able
that show, baby.
to reference his other character of David Boreanaz in the video he that was released of his penis.
Okay, well, what about his great role as the Aurora Boreanas on a random episode of Family Guy once?
Really?
Yeah, they are. That's
Yes.
yes. And by the way, there was an episode. I'm rewatching Family Guy or I'm watching all the seasons of Family Guy I haven't seen yet. And
Wow.
Stewie says, "Why aren't I on an episode of Bones?" And I was like, "Stewie, you will be on an episode of Bones."
He will. He really will.
What do you mean Seth is on it?
Stewie
There's,
Griffin. No,
there's
the
an
character
episode of
Stewie
Bones
Griffin.
that's a
Like on the
crossover with
TV?
Family Guy.
No,
No,
David
in the
Boreanaz.
world of Bones.
What
David
the hell?
Boreanaz talks to the cartoon character Stewie, who has
What is
lines.
happening? That's absurd.
It's amazing. There's also a holy Avatar episode of Bones,
A
Logan.
what?
Like
There's
in
an
the world of
episode that's
Avatar?
all about Avatar. No, the characters are in line to see
Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah. That I remember. I
Oh.
thought you meant the Last Airbender, but yeah.
No, I meant the real Avatar.
No. There's like one of the Bones characters is like in line ahead of time, like dressed as a Navi.
He's
That's
actually
funny.
a guy and that character is a character in the movie Avatar. That's why they're doing it. So
Oh, that actor was in it?
The
Yeah.
actor from Bones? Which actor?
one of the squints, the depressed,
Which one?
the
Oh,
depressed squint.
That guy?
Yeah, he's like the second scientist. He hangs out with Sigourney Weaver the whole time.
That's right.
He's
You're
Noel.
right.
He plays
I can
Noel in
picture him.
Avatar. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
He's in Avatar with water. He survived.
Wow. He's Spider?
Is he in the fifth and sixth one?
No, his name's Noel, and they suspect him. They tease Kiri and say that he's the father of Kiri. But we all know that
What are
Kiri
you talking about?
had a divine birth. Was born of Awa.
I'm never watching those movies.
I don't even know what you just said. But we haven't finished the episode, guys. You know what happens next?
Tell me.
There's that big box that we did a ritual with, and I'm
What's
like,
in the box, Logan?
what's in the box? What's going on there? And we go talk to the box, and I'm like, what is this? Faith. We're setting up Faith for season 2. We're going back to Faith is the villain. No, they say, hey, Darla. And I'm like, what? Darla?
Yeah. And she's all like naked and shivering and shit. Where'd they get Darla from?
I have
We'll
no
find
fucking
out
idea.
in season 2.
That was really cool, though.
Yeah, get ready for Darla. She's a big new character on Angel.
Crazy. I had no idea she would ever be back.
Yeah.
I mean, probably in flashback, but this is awesome.
No, they never knew they'd have the Angel spinoff, and Whedon regretted killing her on Buffy, and so
in
figured
the
out a
first
way
episode.
in her first appearance, not the first
Yeah,
episode. No,
sorry.
it's not. That's not actually. She's in the pilot and the second episode, and then she shows back up in episode 7. That's where she's killed.
Yeah, okay.
She's
Yeah,
the very first person we ever see, though, right?
she is. She's the first person we see
Breaks
on
into
Buffy
that
the
school.
Vampire Slayer. You're
Is
right.
that Sunnydale? They're breaking Sunnydale?
It is. Yeah, Sunnydale High.
Wow, that's cool.
Because remember they find the dead body of the guy she kills in the locker later in that episode.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Okay. What did you think of this episode?
Loved it. Give it 4 stars. I absolutely love Angel. The character. I loved Wesley. I loved the turn from like he thought it read one thing and then it read the other. I loved Cordelia in this episode. I liked the villain Voca was pretty cool. I liked Wolfram and Hart. Lindsay loses his hand. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought Lila was pretty fun. I like when she threatened Lindsay that one part. It was like, remember the last time that a guy did that to us and we killed him or whatever?
Holland
Made him eat
Manners.
his liver, whatever.
Holland Manners, very dry and funny in this episode.
Kate, maybe a little weak point. Gunn, didn't need him. Although I
Kate
guess you
and Gunn
did.
are just sort of just there to push them. Just
And
to
Nabbit,
remind
the
you.
same thing.
Yeah,
But-
Nabbit. That's the weak. Like to me, Gunn and Kate don't do much, but it makes sense to have them in the episode. Nabbit, I don't. That I'll give him the LVP.
No, you're wrong. You just hate Dungeons and Dragons. Plus, the art lady is the LV.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot. You're right. I'm so sorry.
Yep, that's fair. She's LVP. My MVP, I'm gonna go Angel.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sort of between him and Cordelia. And although I love all the Wolfram and Hart shit, but I gave them the shout out last week. I'll go with Boreanaz. I think David Boreanaz's performance is really he's you know people can say what they want about David Boreanaz. He's like he looks like such a stiff, like his hair, whatever. But like when it comes down to it, the guy can act. Like he's a talented guy. He's a good actor. He's been a good director when he's gotten the opportunity to do that. I've always been impressed with David Boreanaz, and I think um his acting really stands out in this episode.
Secretly really funny, you wouldn't think, but I think he's
Absolutely,
actually really
he can
good.
do comedy really well.
Yeah.
I would say that temper him being a really good actor, because if you watch the 3 lines at the end of every Bones episode where they let them improv, those are the worst 3 episodes or the worst 3 lines of every episode of Bones.
Logan, I
That's
never
dumb.
said I know, but I'm just letting you know. I never said anything about his improv skills, okay? I know exactly what Tim is talking about. There's always a moment in Bones, especially like once he and Bones become like a couple, where it's like the script is done. They said all the lines, and then it's just sort of the camera lingers on them, and Boreanaz is always just like, hey, so what do you want to do tonight? Watch a movie? So he's so bad at it.
It's literally every episode ends with them just having they usually probably just write and Bones and Booth talk to each other, and then it's them having, and it's like, yeah, that thing we just did was really weird, huh? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go have tacos tonight. It's they are both horrible improv.
Absolutely, that is actors. Very funny. I don't think I've ever spoken about this out loud.
Oh yeah,
this is absolutely a thing.
Why haven't the writers figured that out and started adding real endings?
I almost think they like it.
Yeah, and I think that they think they're good because David Boreanaz is an executive producer on Bones. So
they're not at the start though.
Yeah, but like season 2 they take over, and
I guess it's pretty early.
Yeah, it's really early. It's like season 3 probably, but yeah. And I'll give Cordelia MVP since you guys.
I like that. She was my next choice.
Yeah, and we all agree on the LVP. I rank it second place out of 22.
What's first?
5x5, the first part of Faith.
Right? Is that my number 1?
That is your number 1.
What's my number 2?
Sanctuary, part 2.
What's 3?
The Prodigal, the one where the dad dies, right?
You could put this at 3.
Love it. Yeah, I think that's very cool. Yeah, this is a great episode. Great finale. Wasn't really sure where we were going with this season, what we were doing with it, and really didn't do too much like with the plotting, but the character stuff with Cordelia and Angel and Wesley.
Yeah, season 1 is an introduction to the world of Angel, and season 2 is much more propulsive in its storytelling.
Now that you've seen a whole season of Angel, Logan, I want to know, do you get why the first episode was titled City of? Do you understand it now?
Sure. Yeah. I feel like I understood it pretty early on.
You want to know what do you want to do first? Read the stuff or hear about next week?
Whatever you'd like. I've got the Patreon right here.
Read Josh's stuff.
All right. Shout out to Josh, by the way, the MVP of this whole season of Buffy and Angel.
I spoke to him on the phone yesterday.
Well, you're very lucky.
I know.
Josh says, Buffy, man, I love these experimental ones, but this one was too scary. How am I supposed to go to bed now? Dan, is this the episode we watched with Nathaniel in your basement with Kid A on in the background?
Yeah.
You're going to have to explain a lot of this, but I guess that will happen more down the line. Very excited they're setting up Cheese to be a major player moving forward. Thought that said mayor for a second.
One time, Nathaniel and Josh and I were all smoking weed in my basement. My parents' basement, and
that 70s show, which we talked about.
Yeah, and like we didn't really have a plan what to do or whatever, and we were just sort of hanging out and shooting the shit. And I was like really stoned, and I was like, do you mind if I put on this Buffy episode? I've always kind of wanted to watch it stoned, and so they let me put it on, but they were like, we don't want to like pay attention to the episode, like we don't want to like sit around and watch Buffy. And I was like, that's fair enough. And so we watched it on mute with the Radiohead album Kid A playing over it.
Were they Buffy fans, or you were just like forcing them to watch a show that you loved?
That
So they'd never seen Buffy. They were just
they
watching
didn't
this
give a
episode.
fuck about Buffy. I think both of them had seen it,
But they liked
maybe
Kid
here and
A,
there.
so they were there for that.
Exactly.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Wow, great memory, Josh.
Yeah.
uh, and then he says about the Angel episode, MVP Cordelia. So he agrees with Tim. They figured out how to squeeze a good performance out of her without giving her hilarious, shallow quips. I feel like she kind of started that way, like in the first scene. She had some quips. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Well, I think part of it is she in this episode sees all of the people in LA. She has visions of all these people in Los Angeles that are in pain.
Yeah.
And it gives her a sense of purpose. You know, she signed up for this gig to like make a little money and because she knows Angel and stuff. And I think that even though it was a horrible thing that happened to her, that Voca did to her, I think it gives her a renewed sense of purpose. I love that moment at the end where she's in the hospital with Angel and she says, Angel, we have to help all these people. We have to help them. And Angel says, we will.
Yeah. I love that part. That was
Yeah.
amazing. He says, speaking of squeezing stuff out of her, did she just give Angel a quart of her blood at the end? Yeah, I had the same question.
Uh,
She says, like, we're
You
keeping
had
it in
the
the family.
same question?
That's right. That's what she did.
No.
No, he
Oh,
drinks
really?
pig's blood from the butcher.
Yeah,
They've established he
he's a
goes to.
little embarrassed to drink blood in front of his human friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's been established. He doesn't really open blood in front of them. He does that but when he's by himself. And so she's like, "We don't care. You're our vampire friend. Do what you
I
want."
thought she said like, don't worry about it. Like,
She said,
we're
"Don't worry about it. We're family. We're not going to judge you."
yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't say we're not gonna judge you because I took that line as don't worry, we're family. You can drink my blood.
But fine, Josh is right. This is Cordelia's period blood that she's giving to
Why do
Angel
Yeah.
to
you
drink.
think Cordelia cut out her blood to feed her friend
I
right
thought it
after
was
she's been in the hospital?
I thought it was blood from the hospital. She was
How'd
like, "Hey
they
guys,
get
can I take
that?
that home to give to my friend?"
What? Listen.
Ma'am, you're checking out of the hospital. Would you like to take your extra blood home?
Josh,
Is
I
Josh
don't
joking?
know. I think Josh means it here. And when I read that, I was like, Josh is gonna feel dumb about that one.
But
And
Josh
then
has me on his
yeah,
side. Little did
yeah,
he know.
yeah.
You can say the dumbest shit, and I'll agree with you guys. Don't even worry about it. You'll always have me on your side.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we're wrong, Josh. Not her blood. So the way she was talking about it, it sure seemed that way, he says. I agree. Darla, I never feel like I care enough about this character showing up. I guess that'll change now that she's set up to be a more present figure.
We'll
I
see.
care about
Let it.
her showing up because Angel, she's a big part of Angel's life. So
Yeah, she's Angel's sire. But
yeah.
I'd be curious to hear from Josh going forward whether he is more invested in Darla or whether he stays at arm's length.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I
maybe you
hope
should
that we
watch.
definitely get more invested. That would suck
Yeah,
if
maybe
it was useless.
if you're not invested in Darla, maybe watch the first 3 seasons of Dexter. Come on.
Is she in that?
Yep.
Oh,
Maybe watch Rambo 4.
yeah, exactly. What's that one called? Rainbow?
Yep.
All right, I guess that's it for Buffy and
Next
Angel.
week.
What episode did we like more? I'm gonna go Angel.
Fuck off. Next week on Buffy's Angels, we get the season 5 premiere of Buffy and the season 2 premiere of Angel. And the season 5 premiere of Buffy is called Buffy versus Dracula.
Whoa, that's awesome. Gotta guess the guy from Van Helsing's showing up.
We'll see. And over on Angel, that premiere is just called Judgment.
Well, I don't know, but that actually has me excited. What if the season 5 villain of Buffy was just flat out Dracula? How cool would that be?
I think we all kind of expected that when they announced this.
Yeah, that would be like a fucking ballsy choice. They were just like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
just doing Dracula this season. That'd be so cool. But
I
I
remember
doubt
they
it.
promoted the episode as like all the commercials said Buffy versus Dracula. And I was like, I thought that was just like how they were promoting it. Then when like I found out it was gonna be the title of the episode too, I was like, that is wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
I remember
Um,
seeing the commercials because I used to watch the Star Trek shows that were on the CW at this time.
Oh yeah, were
Or
you
the
wearing your cape?
WB. I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons back then. But I was really into Deep Space Nine at the time. So yeah, fuck you.
oh, Tim.
Armin Shimmerman is the star of Deep Space Nine, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Quark Hive, rise up.
Tim, by the way, you know how you've done Harry Potter Dungeons and Dragons for the sisters? We
Excuse
should.
me?
What's that?
Excuse me?
You don't
Dan
know about
doesn't
that?
know about the real weird Hunger Games, which of
Uh,
course Logan took part in the last one we did. Yes.
yeah, I was on the third annual quote unquote. We should do that for Buffy. We should do a Buffy Dungeons and Dragons game. That'd be fun.
No, Dan's too cool. He wouldn't show up.
Come on, Daniel. Just participate. Give it your all. People
My
would like
penis
that.
still gets hard.
Mine doesn't.
Mm.
Wait,
Mine's
what?
hard right now.
Talking about Dungeons and
Dungeons
Dragons.
and Dragons, yeah. And Star
I
Trek
I
keeps me
can't
stuck.
I can't play Dungeons and Dragons. It's
I'm too
fun.
cool. I'm too busy watching movies nobody's seen. Hey.